Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here,
And AdvBlueDude.
and welcome to Nuts and Bolts, the show where we dive into theme parks from the other side of the Disney pond. Yeah! Woo! How are you tonight, AdvBlueDude?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I am just fantastic. I just marathon watched the first season of Portlandia with my dad right before we went on air.
There you go.
And so I am just feeling hipsterific. Hey, I could put a burn on that, but you won't get that reference probably.
No.
No. Okay. Well, anyways, what are we here to talk about, AdvBlueDude?
We're here to talk about Dollywood.
Dollywood. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Dollywood. It's kind of a thing that was kind of spun off from our original hour-and-a-half Nuts and Bolts Coaster podcast special, where we I believe during the bucket list discussion, you kind of said, like, Dollywood is one of your bucket list parks to visit. Am I right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And so want to kind of get into a little bit more about what sort of fascinates you about Dollywood.
Dollywood is kind of an anomaly. It was set up by a country pop star, and it just somehow turned into, like, this coaster mecca of the South. It's really weird. Like, the Midwesterns, I don't understand how this happens, but they have some kick-ass coasters.
I mean, they really do, and above all else, what's impressed me is how well-themed they are.
Yeah.
So basically, I kind of call it Dollywood's Coaster Renaissance, you know, because we have, first we had the first, wing coaster to open in the United States called Wild Eagle. I don't really think there's a ton to say about this. I think the trains are really cool looking, because you got just, like, literally, like, all these rows of bald eagles just flying around. I think that's really badass. And you've got an awesome statue of a bald eagle that's just, like, literally, like, larger than life out front. But still, it's kind of just, like, I don't know, the coaster itself, what do you think?
I'm not sure I've even seen a video of the coaster. But I mean, like wing coasters in general, wing riders, like, they're really cool. I wish there were more of them in the U.S.
Not as cool as extra-dimensional coasters.
No, but I mean, that's a completely different thing. That's a completely different thing. I don't know why you brought that up. But
oh, a lot of people compare them.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Why? They're completely different things.
Well, I think just because the train is designed similarly, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they ride on the outside of the track.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. A wing coaster is essentially a multi-dimensional coaster without the flipping element.
Movement. Yeah.
Which is why a multi-dimensional coaster is just way better. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. East Coast or frickin' West Coast represent.
East Coast represent.
All right. One of these days we have to have an East Coast versus West Coast battle of the coasters.
Space Mountain.
Well, I'm talking just, like, compare, like, all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Jesus Christ, all of them. I think I'd win that just by sheer force.
just by sheer force. Well, I mean, we'd have, like, a specific number of coasters to compare to each other. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like Goliath versus Millennium Force, shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the only reason I say it, because other people have done that, but I feel like you and me could bring something to the table where, you know, because you and me both represent the East and the West Coast. And yeah, Magic Mountain, best coaster park in the world. Yeah, represent. Can't wait to go there again. But yeah, with freaking the Wild Eagle, is that what it's called? I'm sorry.
Wild Eagle.
Yeah. There are some really intense elements. Like, for example, the inversions I noticed are really steep. Like, I don't know, like, you know, they kind of loop around, and then, I don't know, the loop itself is pretty roundish, but then it kind of goes into this sort of dive position. I feel like that's kind of like a standby of these bat coasters in general, or wing coasters, but this coaster kind of paved the way for Banshee at Cedar Point. And what do you think of
No, at
Banshee?
Kings Island.
Oh, Kings Island? Oh, God, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I do not like that level of unprofessionalism. I should know my shit.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. Happens best.
All right, so what do you think of that coaster? Or have you seen any ride-throughs of it, or what?
Really, I haven't. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. It looks like a really cool coaster. But, yeah.
That's basically all I have to say about it, too. I just think it's interesting that the wing coasters are kind of spreading out throughout the East Coast.
Yeah.
But yes, the West Coast is getting their first Rocky Mountain coaster, bitches.
Look at you.
And it's, in all likelihood, I hope, probably going to be the first dueling Rocky Mountain coaster. I very much hope so. Very much hope they keep that second track on Colossus and actually utilize it, but I digress. That's a different discussion. Okay, so then we get to Mystery Mine, and this just looks like a really intriguing ride, don't you think?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
really cool.
It's a Gerschlauer Eurofighter, but it's just, holy shit, one of the most unique Eurofighters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because I think the best Eurofighter in the world I've seen up until this point would probably be Saw the Ride. Just from, I mean, keep in mind, I'm just saying this as like someone who's never ridden a coaster outside of California, so I'm really not the best person to judge, on an all-around coaster. Like, I only judge based on the POVs, and that's really kind of the only way for me to do my sort of critique and analysis and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's just an important thing to keep in mind in general when we go through these rides and everything. But yeah, with Saw the Ride, I feel like the theming's really good, but you and me were talking about this off air. I think one of the standard things about Euro coasters, and I'm not saying it's not cool, but I'm saying it's just, you kind of see it on everything, is Eurofighters always have that, the really steep first climb, like the basically the vertical lift hill, and then the beyond vertical tower drop. And you see it on Saw the Ride too, but with Mystery Mine, they take their sweet time with it.
Yeah, they do, so, and it's really cool in the theming as well.
Yeah, you want to kind of talk about the theming?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you exit the station and you start out in a mine, and as you're going through, there's like this weird acapella like do thing going on as you see bad eyes, and then you go out. It's not a launch. You go out, and then you do some stuff outside, and you go back into the mine, where I keep wanting to say there's a launch. Is there a launch?
Yeah, there is, yeah.
I thought there was. Yeah, it's been a bit since, it's been like a week since I've seen the video.
Which is impressive, because I think it's one of the, I'm not sure, but do Eurofighters usually launch, or is that like a thing that's...
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
I've never heard of it, but honestly, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it seems like it's fairly unique to the Eurofighter system. So anyone who's out there, leave a comment who like knows their shit about Eurofighters, unlike us. But yeah, it's just like, and especially the lift hills, man. Like, especially the second lift hill, because the second lift hill honestly looks just straight up terrifying. I really like the first one because it really does simulate just being in an elevator shaft. You know what I mean? Because it's just like a straight like vertical climb up a shaft. Yeah, really cool.
The second one's really Disney-ish.
Oh yeah,
because like you have the screen at the top and like the music's swelling, and then you go over the edge and
And it's very much kind of like the climax of, something like Indiana Jones or Jurassic Park the Ride, kind of the staple, like, oh shit, bad stuff's about to kill us, let's make a drop at the very end to save our asses.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And speaking of the drop, not only do we get the drop, but we get the launch, but with the launch, we launch right into the beyond vertical element of this Eurofighter coaster, which is saved for the very end, which I think is probably the most interesting part of this coaster's whole design. What do you think?
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely a climax. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, usually with Eurofighters, it's kind of like, all right, we got the big drop, and then a bunch of woo, swirly stuff. Yeah. But I am really impressed with these like super tight bank turns that they're doing on these Eurofighters.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. That's basically all I have to say. It's just really and it looks like something that even though it does look like it can hold its own in the thrill department, it looks like something families can ride, which I definitely respect. I feel the same way about Cheetah Hunt, but I'll get to the Cheetah Hunt comparison when we get to Fire Chaser. One last thing. What do you think about the design of the cars themselves on Mystery Mine?
I like the way how Eurofighters in general, like, it's such a simple design that you can do anything with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's really cool how it's such a bland car, but because of how it's designed, you can really do anything you want with it.
Right.
And, yeah. Mystery Mines is really interesting.
My only small little nitpicky complaint, and this is just like really quite nitpicky, is I feel like the structure and the actual track could have been painted better to represent a mine track. Because I think it's just white and gray. You know what I mean?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, something like that.
I remembered it being, like, metal looking.
I guess maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. I just would have liked to see maybe a black and brown combination instead of a gray.
Yeah, I suppose.
But again, that's extremely nitpicky, so...
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, so then we get to Fire Chaser Express. Yeah. Now, when did this open? This opened just this year?
Yeah, it opens, like, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, shit, really? Oh,
probably
wow.
A bit before. It was, like, April or May.
Something
like that. It was this year, definitely, though.
Okay, yeah, this is... How would you describe this coaster? It's like a launching family coaster?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's a launching family coaster.
Well, I mean, that's not unprecedented. Like, we have that with Cheetah Hunt, and that's where my comparison comes in. What do you think of Cheetah Hunt? Because we talked about Cheetah Hunt a little bit in the general coaster discussion. It's one of those rides at Bafante Garden that I'm just, like, dying to ride. Like, it's one of those rides, and I kind of talk about this a little bit, like, I almost sort of prefer coasters that go for the fun element more than the holy shit intense element.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying this coming from a Magic Mountain fan, so I definitely like my holy shit intensity. But, I don't know, like, with Magic Mountain, it's like, I don't know. Like, I just like, for example, my favorite coaster at Magic Mountain is Riddler's Revenge. And Riddler's Revenge is, I mean, it's definitely got its intensity to it, especially in the fact that it's a stand-up coaster.
Yeah.
Which kind of, in general, makes coasters just more intense because it's literally just like a bicycle seat between your damn legs. Which is just like, yeah, not fun. But Riddler's Revenge, what I love so much about it is it's just got such a crazy amount of inversions in such a compact space. And again, it doesn't really go for holy shit intensity, it just goes for fun. And I feel like the same thing can definitely be said with Cheetah Hunt. But do you have any opinions on Cheetah Hunt?
No, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen a video of Cheetah Hunt. I mean, it's a really interesting coaster, especially how it goes up the Skyway. But,
right, yeah. I mean, it's crazy because it's got that one big tower, which I think is like really cool and almost sort of iconic.
Yeah.
To Gardens now. And then yeah, the ride it dips into like this really low terrain, a lot of bunny hills, a lot of speed. Oh my god, it looks so fun. But anyways, Fire Chaser Express. So yeah, it's themed to, of all things, putting out a fire. What do you think of this theme?
It's interesting. I mean, it's not groundbreaking, but it's
I
cool.
like it. I really like it.
No, yeah, it's an interesting concept,
Um,
especially for like a coaster.
yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you would think like it's a really interesting combination. The whole like combining the element of like fire trucks have to go really fast to get to the fire with a launch coaster. It's a really simple concept, a simple idea that I think I could just like latch onto. It's really nice.
Hmm.
I really love how there's just like that blazing siren, like when you blast out of the station, and then the
Yeah,
siren again on the lift hill.
yeah.
Just really nice touches. I
The
find.
ending's really cool.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. But
Yeah.
I find the third drop to be kind of the most intense. I mean, I don't know if it's the largest,
Hmm.
but it like really swoops down and is really steep.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think that's cool. Like you and me both kind of appreciate when the most intense element of a coaster isn't the first drop,
Yeah.
because it just adds like a lot of variety to the ride in general.
Hmm.
Good example of that is freaking Magic Mountain's Tatsu. Again, I hate to go back to Magic Mountain, but whatever. Because
Yeah.
Magic Mountain's Tatsu, really, it doesn't have much of a first drop. It's sort of just like, woo, swirly fly. And then when you get to the pretzel loop, it's like, holy crap, I just shit my pants. But, oh, how long to go on that ride? Oh, man. Oh, God. But, so yeah, let's talk about the climax of Fire Chaser, because first of all, you're going over. I like how it tells this whole story in like about 30 seconds worth of ride time, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because it's like you're going over this terrain. It's like there's like all these fireworks, and you're just like, holy crap! There seems to be like some sort of firework shenanigans going on.
Hmm.
And then you go into this firework factory, and then you want to describe what happens from there.
First of all, spoilers to those who don't want to be spoiled. If you don't want to hear the ending, just fuck off. I don't know. But
Jeez.
I love all of you who watch
Kind of
this.
rude to our audience there.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But seriously, if you don't want to hear the ending, just like mute it until like Tiki waves. I don't know. But the ending, you go into the gas station that sells fireworks, and something happens. I forget what exactly, and the fireworks get set off, and then suddenly backwards launch, which is really cool. And then it goes through that, and then you turn back. You actually go backwards into the station, which is another really cool thing.
Specifically, how does it get turned around?
Switch back.
Oh, just a switchback? Okay.
Yeah, it just yeah. Well, I just think it's really cool though how the station doesn't have an entrance.
Sure, right.
The exit
right.
is the entrance. It's really cool. I think.
One thing to point out, the big major event that happens, it's like basically I think there's a gas leak that gets set off, and it just starts setting up all the fireworks, and then the major giant firework called Big Bertha, which I think is just hilarious, just kind of drops down, and it's like a voice is like, "Oh no, you set off Big Bertha!" And then like a bunch of smoke fills the room, and then you blast off. You go through. I think it's cool because you go through the valley that has like all these fireworks, and you go through that backwards. And okay, spoiler alert over. Yeah. I doubt anyone gives a shit, but
yeah, but I mean, like some people do. Like, I'm used to the Disney forums where like people are like, "Don't talk about anything about this new ride," because I can't. And yeah.
I guess fair enough because it is like a very new ride. So.
Oh no, I mean like I understand people wanting to have it be a fully new experience, not wanting to know anything about the ride.
Sure.
Other than like the basics, but yeah.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's about it. I just think like Dollywood, it's just a really interesting park. I wish I knew more about it. It's like I don't know. Like, are there any other rides there in particular that intrigue you?
I mean there are, but none that I really want to talk about.
Okay, fair enough, fair
Yeah,
enough. Um,
the whole
yeah,
park's
it
really cool.
looks pretty well landscaped. I mean, that kind of goes without saying.
Hmm.
And yeah. All right, so yeah, Fire Chaser Express, Mystery Mine, Wild Eagle, definitely three incredibly solid coasters.
Yeah.
Kind of came out like right, like boom, like right one right after the other.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because it's like they're both, all three of them kind of broke new ground because I don't know, because Wild Eagle, definitely the first wing coaster in the U.S., so got to give it props for that.
Hmm.
Mystery Mine, just holy crap, really well themed, insane theatricality going on, and like I said, the only Eurofighter that you and I can think of that's launched,
Yeah.
and one of the only ones I can think of that has its Beyond Vertical element right at the end.
Hmm.
And then we got Fire Chaser, which has multiple launches, a backward launch, and just overall just a really fucking cool theme.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, any last words you have to say about this whole renaissance that Dollywood's going on?
Not really. Like Dollywood is a great park, and they'll continue to grow, get better, and huh, it's really turning into an incredible coaster park.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious about it. I really want to learn more. I really want to kind of check out some of its history and whatnot, because it seems like one of those things that kind of just grew from like this really humble beginning, like just Dolly Parton just like, hey y'all, I'm gonna put some rides in here.
Mm.
And then just like kind of grew, and now it's just like, I'm sure they have like really good entertainment there too. I'm sure they have really good food. Just
Yeah.
seems like an all around just incredibly solid little gem of a park. So, all right, so that'll do it for this episode of Nuts and Bolts. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And before we go, we'd like to take a minute to plug our So You Want to Be an Imagineer network that we're just putting up. So all the Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, we are officially on. Oh,
And
yes.
a subreddit.
And a subreddit. That's
Yep.
right. We are expanding the So You Want to Be an Imagineer name. But first, AdvBlueDude, would you like to tell them about the main site?
Sure. The main site is sywtbai.com. It's mainly an Archer Imagineering website, so if you want to post ideas, go there. It's actually it's a really good community. We've had it since like 2007.
2007, yeah.
2007. Oh my God, I was right. Like,
Yeah.
But it's been around for a while, and there's some
We're
great people on there. We
always
have contests.
incredibly welcoming to new members.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the head moderator over there, and I make sure every new person that comes feels welcome. I definitely try and participate in all their ideas to the extent that I can, given my schedule. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just a really supportive community for people who just like to share theme park ideas and whatnot. We're always open to new stuff, so come on down. It's a really cool community, and I highly recommend it if you're a fan of just overall just theme park discussion and whatnot.
Yep. And
All right.
the Twitter, the subreddit, and the site are all SYWTBAI. So
I will provide the links right down there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's it. Until next time, where we talk about the other side of the Disney pond yet again.
10 minutes.
Don't ruin the illusion, goddammit.
Sorry. I wasn't trying to ruin
watching
anything.
this in the archive 10 years from now.
Well, they'll say, oh no, I guess the videos were posted in tandem.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys later.
Goodbye.